We're looking at real estate again and again and again, over and over again. That's kind of what we do here. So, kind of switching ship, right?
Yeah.
A little panicky out there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Interest rates fell.
There was I saw a tweet right as I pulled up today about a Louisville office space that sold for $32 million in 2001. Just sold for $9 million today.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. That
corporate.
I know what. No. That grade of corporate.
Yeah.
Which I would love to do. There's certain grades of buildings that have become obsolete.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what it was.
Oh, yeah.
It probably was in a high location, and it was all big leases, big name, high money tenant leases.
Yeah.
And then those companies just don't need that space anymore.
Yeah.
They don't need like satellite offices and.
Yeah, think about business in 2001.
Yeah. Runs different.
All the way.
Like malls. Malls are going to fall.
Oh, big time.
So if you guys jump on LoopNet, so I've said it before.
LoopNet is where you look at commercial.
Yeah, you look at commercial. So I'll show you before we get started tonight. I wanted to just give you, because it was one thing I wanted to tell you about, just to kind of paint the picture of a region. So in a region, LoopNet search is kind of similar to Realtor, where you can draw a map and you can kind of. So if you're looking for something in a wayward area, why not know what the commercial pieces that are for sale are? It helps paint the picture of a town, because if everything big, if every marquee piece in town is for sale, that's not good.
Yeah.
That's not good. And like that I almost bought a commercial piece of real estate, and I drove by it today, and it's the one I kicked myself for. It was $300. I offered them $100. They took it.
Yeah.
And then it needed a roof, and I didn't have $60,000 for the roof.
How's it doing now? You
It's
drove by
for
it
rent, for sale, stagnant on the market. It's don't get me wrong, they want $500,000 for it, but they were wearing the problem of the town. You know what I'm saying? Commercial real estate wears the problems of the town.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting thing. Like if the gas station's for sale, I always find that's just a super fun thing to really, really get. It's all I can do, other than knowing if people are like not paying their bills and shit. But
yeah.
You can go to the town and pull cards, but that's a different story. This is not financial advice. None of this is. This is a fella ruining his career in a garage with his pal, on trying to get us out of seemingly financial peril. I hope that y'all see, and I see people buying into the wind. A couple of developers have been buying high-priced flips in nice neighborhoods.
Yeah.
I've been seeing a couple of people who I think are smart make a couple of moves that I don't know if that's a smart move. I'll give you the example. I know a fella who built a couple of houses for, let's call it $575,000 to $600,000 all in, and then sold them for $800,000 all in, and probably made a good amount of money on the labor the whole time, because he owned the labor force, so he got to compound it a little bit. And then now he's buying just basically anything that's mildly nice in nice neighborhoods, and he thinks it's all going to be there on the flip. And that's interesting to see people do that in this market. But hey, whatever. I like to keep my eyes on kind of like what's happening around me, looking in the towns. Get on your apps, draw your circle big, check it frequently. Keep your eyes on a few pieces of property that look like something that you would, that y'all would do. And yeah, that's it.
Gabriel Molinaro says, "Hey Nick, I love your attitude. I'm currently working in carpentry, building spec homes, and getting into real estate as a realtor, but I'd like to invest deeper into compounding investments and dividends. Any suggestions/advice?" Guys, this is not financial advice.
This is not financial. I don't know, man. I got to be honest with you. Thank you for donating. You were going to have your hands full if you're getting into real estate. You don't need anything else. You're going to need every dollar you need, and don't let anybody tell you that otherwise. You're going to be buying stock and selling stock. That's what I've done my whole life. I bought Airbnb stock because I had Airbnbs when they IPO'd. I bought $5,000 worth. I sold it because I needed the money.
Yeah.
It's just how it goes. It's just how it goes. So when you're flipping houses and you're doing, like, this stuff eats and eats and eats and eats and eats. It's no joke. Yeah. I don't want to mince words here. If you're doing a house and you're doing it right and you're making it perfect, I don't give a other investments. You have an investment. It's the house. And then it's back to work. It's kind of how it goes. Talking about this with my friend Jeff, who bought one. Kind of did the plan that we're all talking about. Everybody on the stream's kind of doing the same thing. Yeah. Find a house with equity, do the right stuff to it. You start spending $150,000. You want to pump the brakes organically yourself. You're like, okay, that's enough now. All right, I spent every dollar I've had now. It's getting annoying. So I don't think you're going to be too happy that you have like $4,000 here, here, and here, and have a dividends portfolio where you buy Altria. Is that the dividends master? The cigarette company is the number one.
Really?
Yeah. The number one dividend company, or top three, is the cigarette. Altria. Yeah. You have to invest like $100,000 to get like $1,600. It's
really
stupid. It's like I got better ideas for $100,000.
I'll make $1,600 on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
Daniel G. Daniel, why did you give us 50, man?
Yo.
Why are you so generous?
Yo, thank you, dog.
He says, Nick, my family and I have a shared driveway with bad neighbors and an uninhabitable hoarder house for years. The land went up for sale last summer, and some landscapers bought it. Turns out they're selling it again, $199,000 with 2.6 acres. Should we wait till drop?
No, hit him up personally and buy it. You're the neighbor. You have like a free walkover. Be like, I want to buy it. Try to buy it from him. One thing about I never said this on the stream. If you like where you live, right? Like I like where I live. I would love to buy like if you wanted to flip something, buy something close to your house. If you like flipping.
Yeah.
What's better than that? Why? Because you can go home at the end of the night at like 11.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Proximity is a lot. So next door, compound, family compound stuff, I feel like that stuff's going.
So buying the neighboring lot, does that sometimes justify kind of a higher price?
Yes.
Yeah.
Tons. How much would you spend driving like 3 towns over or something? Just think about that.
And how much longer would it take you to work on it if you're like, that's an hour away, I don't want to go out?
Yeah, it's just a lot. It's just like, if proximity, if you think about something close, I mean, I get it. If it's pure flip or if it's a family property and you want to build something for yourself and your brothers on the side or et cetera, or whatever the situation is. If you wouldn't mind living next to the person that owns the original parcel, then by all means, please buy adjacent properties, even more so. Then there's a redevelopment thing that can happen if the property's big enough too. 2.9 acres, sometimes you can turn it sideways, put a street in, and then you could put houses all around it. If you can join the properties, you go to the town. Say there's 2 parcels like this, right?
Okay.
You put them like this. Now, one parcel is allowed maybe, it's a 2.9 acre, that's what he said.
Yeah.
So maybe 1 acre's 2, maybe his parents is 4. You can go to the town and say, hey, can I judge this? I'll put a road right where the slit in the paper is and I can build 4 houses. Down the road, I'm not, that's
okay, I see.
Stuff like that, conjoining property. It's not easy, but sometimes you can rezone. You know, when towns want to make more tax money, they'll put more houses up. It's that simple. So
that's smart. What you just said there. That's cool.
yeah, conjoining parcels or adjoining parcels you can do that. The guy who owns my property tried to do that.
Okay.
My property has a road, and the guy tried to, but the frontage was. So I'd have to buy someone around me to like add a different entry point to be able to branch. I have 22 acres, and you can do a house on 3 acres in Situate. So I could essentially have 6 houses plus a road. But the road frontage doesn't work out like that. So I have to go to the zoning board with an adjacent parcel from somewhere else around. So just that's all. Just think of it as like just squares on a map, and then conjoining, and then the rules, and kind of fitting it, and then asking people for favors. Bring donuts to the town hall when you go.